Hello and welcome to the new Kia Picanto. And before you change the video or click away or just close this video altogether, which would be very, very harsh, might I just say one thing and let you in on a little secret. The new Kia Picanto is one of the best new small cars on sale. You see, this might look similar to the old Kia Picanto, but actually underneath it's a completely different car. The dimensions are almost exactly the same. In fact, the only thing that's changed is that the roof is now 7mm lower, but underneath it's very different. The wheelbase has been extended by 15mm, so that means that the wheels are now slightly closer to each corner of the car. And also Kia have used twice the amount of high tensile strength steel in the construction of the chassis. And what that in turn means is that this is more than 30% stiffer than ever before. Now, why does that matter? Well, if you think about it, if the chassis is stronger, there's less to compensate for. The rest of the car doesn't have to be quite as hard or as harsh and have to deal with so much movement in the body of the car. Let's start with the suspension first of all. And yes, it can start to feel a little unsettled if you go over quite a few small bumps in quick succession at high speeds. If you're on the motorway, for example, and you just get to a poor surface, it starts to jog you around a little bit. And I suppose that the car rolls around quite a bit. But rolling a small car like this isn't the end of the world. In fact, it can be quite good fun. And for the most part, it's very comfortable. And what I like is that when you brake hard or lift off, you can feel the rear of the car just go that little bit light. So it's kind of adjustable. And adjustability isn't a word I would have associated with a Kia Picanto, but it really does feel quite light on its toes. There's grip too. Not loads, but just enough that you can start to have a bit of fun. Now the brakes are small, but their discs are both the front and the back. Kia haven't just gone cheaper and just put drums at the back because they're trying to save money. And I think it does drive better because of that. And you've got some nice feel to the pedal as well. Again, this Picanto is a surprising thing to drive. You don't expect it to have decent brakes or decent suspension. Perhaps the best bit about the whole package of the new Picanto is the gearbox. It's a 5-speed manual gearbox, and I genuinely believe it's one of the best manual gearboxes on sale in any small car at the moment. It's light, but it's precise, nice to use, and easy, direct, mechanical. I know saying a gearbox feels mechanical is almost something of a cliche now when it comes to car reviews, but it just feels really, really nice. As for engines, you can get two at the moment. You can get a 1-litre 3-cylinder naturally aspirated with 66 brake horsepower, or a 1.25 litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with 83 brake horsepower. Although soon enough there will be a turbocharged 3-cylinder with about 100 horsepower, but that's coming later on in the year. Now, in the video from the launch, I spent most of my time in the 1-litre 3-cylinder with 66 brake horsepower. But I did spend a little bit of time also in the 1.25 litre, but not enough to film a whole new video. Now I'm in the 1.25 litre to get to know a bit better, and actually this very car is the one that I drove in Italy. There isn't a lot of power and torque, and you need to rev it to get the most out of it, but it's a very, very, very smooth engine. 83 brake horsepower, 88 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in 11.6 seconds, and a top speed of 107 miles an hour. It just feels like a great engine for this car. Although it will be good to try the 3-cylinder turbo when it does eventually come out. I think having a bit of extra torque low down the rev range will make this car feel even nippier than it does at the moment. Looks, well, perhaps it isn't the biggest change from generation to generation. I remember when I first saw it and I thought, actually it doesn't look that different. But it is a really good looking car, there's no denying it. It's aggressive too. And actually in this spec, the top spec GT Line S, it's got a bit of extra body kit, it's got some alloy wheels, it's got tinted rear windows. I think it looks pretty good. Inside, on this GT Line S, again, it's very well kitted out. So I've got a sat-nav screen, I've got leather heated seats, I've got a heated steering wheel, I've got metal pedals. So all probably things that you might not need. I suppose the average Picanto owner might not go for the top spec, but I'd be very happy to sit in this car for very long journeys. It's not uncomfortable, it's not loud, it's not harsh. And again, with every generation of Kia, the materials get that little bit better. It's just good. It's just really, really, really good. It is one of the best small cars on sale at the moment. And what am I excited about? Well, Kia have said that there might be a Picanto GT, a more focused, more fun, almost hot hatch Picanto, because they've said that they can squeeze 118 brake horsepower 3-cylinder turbo from some of its other models into the Picanto engine bay without any real troubles at all. And imagine that. If it already drives this well, imagine an engine with almost twice the horsepower of the base engine, with better steering, better brakes, better suspension. It already drives really well. So I think that would be really, really good. If you're in a top job at Kia and you're watching this right now, build that car.